Yeah, let's go.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be pulling apart my transmission that I can't afford to replace, so let's hope that I don't make any mistakes, or if I do, hopefully they're small enough and easily replaceable parts. I have not really messed with transmission stuff at all, so this will be all new to me. So if you've done this before, you might not want to watch this video. You might be struggling watching me struggle my way through this, but I have a lot of help from Pete Nichols over at Hughes Performance, so I'm sure he'll help me get through it and get it all figured out. I was originally going to pull the transmission apart just to install the two-stage dump valve from them, which doesn't mean pulling it completely apart. However, now we have decided to make some changes. I've been working with Hughes for a while now, and they've helped me out a lot on some customer cars, and I've sold quite a few converters and had tons of happy customers, and me and Pete have been able to work together to get exactly what we both want out of the combination and make it work just right. And that's a really important part for these stock bottom end motors and stock block stuff, is having the converter just right. And I really don't like to lean on anything unless the converter is right. So he's been a huge help, and ever since he's been helping and making all my customer cars faster, I have been wanting to send my converter off to him or get a new one from them, and he decided to help me out, and now my converter is at Hughes Performance, and it's been converted to a bolt together and all of their specs, and Pete has put a couple of his own little tricks in there as well. So I'm really excited to try that out. It's going to be looser than before, and that along with the dump valves should be a really nice combination. And also when we were talking about that, I had been thinking in my head, I really wanted to go to like a 169 first gear in my Powerglide, just because I have the 180 gear, which worked really well before. However, I think as I start to really push this thing and try and 60 foot really hard, I think the 180 gear is just going to be a little bit too much, even with this little motor. Once you get to a certain point, too much first gear ratio just starts to be an issue, or too much starting line ratio, I should say. And I really want the rear gear to be set up to go through the traps at or a little past peak power, so I can get the best or the most out of the combination. So, but if I were to do that with a 180 first gear, I would probably have too much starting line ratio, and it would cause me to fight that. I think fighting either spinning or wheelies or just things like that. That's typically what happens. So, and I think that's part of what we were fighting with Brennan's car on the last outing, where we went the 470 at just under 150. When we tried to turn it up, it was just it went up into a power wheelie, which I think was a combination of things, but he did have a 180 glide and a 411 rear gear, which is what mine was going to have. However, now we are putting that 169 gear in it and going to start with the 411 gear. However, I know I'm not going to trap fast enough to be at or past peak power in the 8th mile with that gear ratio. So we're going to feel it out with that gear and see where the engine likes RPM wise, and just how fast it's going to go, so we can kind of get a good judge on what we need to go to next. And then I'll probably go to either a 430 or 456 gear, and I think that'll be a killer combo right there, and I'll be able to 60 foot as hard as I want to, and be able to go through the traps, ideally, probably a few hundred RPM past peak power, so I can have the most average power over the run. So I'm super excited. Now I'll quit talking and go ahead and start pulling this thing out and pulling it apart, and we'll see what we find and see what all we decide to change other than just the gear ratio and installing the dumps. And yeah, I'm super excited to be working with Hughes and super thankful for Pete. So if you guys need anything, they are a fantastic company to work with, and I can definitely help you get whatever you need. Me and Pete work really well together. Alright guys, so I got this all set up on some cardboard to hopefully catch some of the fluid. I'm sure I'm still going to make a big mess, but that's alright. I'm going to go ahead and take my dress hoodie off, available at squirreltune.com, and turn some music on and start tearing this thing apart.
Growing Growing up, parents got me a guitar. Said you could do anything, kid, you could go far. You could be the president, fireman, race cars. The sky's the limit, kid, so shoot for the stars. So I strummed that guitar every day. Found the passion for music never went away. I joined a couple bands and played a few shows. Tried to impress the girl in the front row. But soon enough, everything starts to change. As you grow up, nobody treats you the same. They try to take your future and make it real safe. You could be a doctor, accountant, or something sane. But yo, whatever happened to the sky was the limit. I fell in love with music, never thought it was a gimmick. I worked so hard on every tune and every single lyric. My whole identity depended on being artistic. Now you wanna strip that away, so you feel okay? Cause if I make it to the top, what does that really say? That you shouldn't have given up, that you made the mistake? But if I fail, you feel much better about picking your lane, right? Yeah, things are gonna get better real soon. Yeah, I'ma just do me, you just do you. I swear it's gonna get better real soon. Don't let anyone tell you what you should do. I got a clear view, we're gonna make it soon. Just keep pushing through. You're what you got to lose. You're what you got to lose. You're what you got to lose. Just keep pushing through. Cause what you got to lose. 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 I won't give up, I won't back down. Till the line 6 years underneath the deep ground. I won't give up, I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me except for me now. I won't give up, I won't back down. Till the line 6 years underneath the deep ground. I won't give up, I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me except for me now. Be honest, life's a competition. So if I'm going to play, then I'm gonna play to win it. I refuse to sit and rot at a desk all day unless I have a passion I'm working towards, okay? I'd rather be dead on the outside than inside. A bullet to the head than 25 to life in a cubicle alone, just trying to get by, building someone else's dream instead of building mine. If you're hearing me, this is meant to inspire. If you have a dream or if you have desires, a girl in your life that's making you feel that fire, go fight for her, man, go die for her, man. Cause you only have one life, one chance to do it, one chance to prove it to yourself, so don't lose it. You got this, fam, just keep pushing on through it. One day you'll look back so glad you pursued it. Yeah, things are gonna get better real soon. Yeah, I'ma just do me, you just do you. I swear it's gonna get better real soon. Don't let anyone tell you what you should do. I got a clear view, we're gonna make it soon. Just keep pushing through. You're what you got to lose. You're what you got to lose. You're what you got to lose. Just keep pushing through. Cause what you got to lose. 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 I won't give up, I won't back down. Till the line 6 years underneath the deep ground. I won't give up, I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me except for me now. I won't give up, I won't back down. Till the line 6 years underneath the deep ground. I won't give up, I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me except for me now. You won't stop you now, because I got you now. I got the formula and I'm about to drop it loud. So what we talking about? There is no talking now. We take action with passion, we're rocking now. It's tick-tocking now, the clock's talking down. And all I hear is haters try so hard to talk me down, but they can't stop the sound, already on the ground. Everything is growing faster than I can count. You ain't gonna stop me now, because I got this now. I got the formula and I'm about to drop it loud. So what we talking about? There is no talking now. We take action with passion, we're rocking now. It's tick-tocking now, the clock's talking down. And all I hear is haters try so hard to talk me down, but they can't stop the sound, already on the ground. Everything is growing faster than I can count. down. Everything is growing faster than I can count.
Well, somehow I don't think I destroyed anything, so that's good. I'll show you guys around real quick. I didn't get it completely torn apart, but most of the way. As you can see, there's I believe that is the high gear clutches back there. Just wanted to quickly correct myself there. That is not the high gear clutches, that is the reverse clutches. High gear and first gear have the same clutch pack, and that is in the drum that I removed earlier. There is a little whatever, there's a little C-clip back there that's kind of holding that in, so I'll go ahead and pull that out in a little bit. But I also got the valve body out, the servo, the pump, and the drum, the band, which I'm interested to see what band this is, and if it is any good. I had some like strange kind of issues with it. I don't know if they were necessarily issues or if I was just chasing my own tail, but interested to see there. And then interested to see what the clutches look like when I get that pulled out. It just has another C-clip in there as well that I need to pop out. And then here is the planetary, which is what is going to be getting changed. These gears in here are what decide the ratio pretty much. So we're going to end up changing these, I believe, just the gears to a 169 ratio instead of the 180 ratio that is in it now. So yeah, and not exactly sure what that part is, but part of it. Yeah, it ended up being more simple than I really thought. All this stuff is still kind of black magic to me, but starting to understand it a little bit better, and I'm sure Pete will help me out, and we will be able to, I'll be able to really get this thing figured out and figure out what we need to put it back together and get it back together and going, and hopefully it'll function whenever I put it in the car. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed, either enjoyed watching me try and figure out what I'm doing, or maybe learn something with me. Pretty excited to make the changes to this thing and get it upgraded, get those Hughes performance parts in it. I think it's going to be really cool, and this was kind of one of the last things that wasn't exactly how I wanted it to be with the car, so now there's really not any area of compromise in the car, I feel. So I'm really happy about that. That's really gives me some more confidence going into running this thing, and yeah, we're that much closer to getting this thing running. So also wanted to recommend you guys to go check out the Sloppy Mechanics YouTube. I've always been a big fan of him, and even I believe it was probably 5 years ago, before I had really done any of this stuff, I watched a lot of his YouTube and learned some stuff from it, and kind of learned the basics of pulling an LS apart and all that stuff. I really didn't know what I was doing at all at that point, so his channel was pretty helpful for me, and I was a pretty big fan, so it was really cool to get on the Sloppy Radio Show, and I appreciate them for inviting me. You guys should go check it out. It was just over 3 hours. I was on there with Hunter from Hunter Tuned and Ryan Blazer from A21 Bravo, so those guys have both helped out as well with the channel, so I appreciate them. And it was a good time. So anyways, go check that out. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions. And we'll see you guys in the next one.